Get the show on the road. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Winnetka Village Council regular meeting for February 20th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to mute your cell phones or other electronic devices, and I'll ask Rob to do a roll call for attendance.
Thank you. Trustee Dahlman?
Here.
Trustee Albinson?
Here.
Trustee Dearborn? Here. Trustee Handler?
Here.
Trustee Orsic?
Here.
Trustee Apatoff?
Here.
President Ritz?
Here. Okay. Trustee Apatoff has provided the required notice that he is unable to attend tonight's meetings due to work obligations. Our rules provide that Trustee Apatoff may participate remotely unless 2/3 of the board objects. Is there any objection? Hearing none, Trustee Apatoff may now participate remotely fully in the meeting, and the minutes should so reflect. Item 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll lead us this evening. Pledge allegiance. Thank you. All right, item 3, quorum check.
Yes, thank you. We're looking at the month of March, the 5th, the 12th, and the 21st. And note that the 21st is Thursday because of the election, so we always move to the Thursday after that Tuesday. So are there any conflicts for the March meetings?
I forgot about the change on Thursday, so I may have, I'll try and change my plans
Okay.
accordingly.
Well, let me know if there's several
Yeah.
that have conflicts. This was part of the annual meeting notice. It's been our tradition that we don't
Right.
hold a meeting on election day.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
thank
was
you.
my fault.
Okay, thank you.
Good deal. All right, item 4 is public comment. This is the time of the evening when anybody who wishes to may come to the podium and share their comments on items that are not on tonight's agenda with the village council. Ted?
I mean, I might have just wanted to listen to the meeting, but it's basically just a consent agenda, so. Anyway, hello, Ted Winnichenko. So, Louis Brandeis, back in 1913, wrote a book, Other People's Money and What Bankers Do With It. And, you know, his book's primarily focused on banking and insurance, and, you know, he was talking more about like Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan, but he has a great line, and it says, publicity, the chapter is entitled, What Publicity Can Do. Publicity is justly commended as a remedy for social and industrial disease. Sunlight is said to be the best of disinfectants, electric light, the most efficient policeman. And you know, and I think that kind of thought, way back then, 100 years ago, is what has led us to a point where we have things like FOIA and the Open Meetings Act, designed to try to foil corruption by making things non-secret. And so I was a little troubled by the fact that, you know, this board had chosen back on December the 12th in a give or take 30-minute time span to, quote, review the closed session meetings of 120 closed session meetings. And also, because you hadn't been approving minute meetings every 6 months as required by the OMA, approving the minutes for something like 70 other, or 40, 50 other meetings going back to 2019, which on its face seems impossible, right? Because who could remember what someone might have said in a meeting 3 years ago? But in any case, but at that meeting, you guys chose to continue to demand secrecy for 2 meetings which were ostensibly only to set a price for a piece of property which the village then gave away, namely the Bertling sidewalk. And so this really makes me sad, right? Because this to me just seems like a way of hiding what happened. And I feel like the evidence is pretty clear that in those meetings, you guys or the board chose to give away the sidewalk without public input. And now I think maybe because of embarrassment, we don't want to reveal those things. Now, I will say that it doesn't look like the Public Acts Council has ever addressed this issue, so it's my hope that they will look at what this section of the OMA means. What does a review mean, and how can a public body be held to account for keeping things secret when there clearly isn't a reason for it? Now, maybe they won't. I feel like there is some, it's a high burden for the, anyway. But hopefully they will. And I wanted to thank this board for helping me along my path. And I won't belabor the point, but you guys really should look at the approved meeting minutes for the open session meeting on December 19th, prior to the closed meeting, and you should compare that, well, you should look at the meeting minutes themselves, because in there is already fiction, and then you should compare them to the videotape, and you'll see that the fiction is even larger. And I'm hoping that that kind of example will help the public access counselor decide that maybe this is something they should review. So again, I would like you to release those meeting minutes. I think the public has a right to know how the sidewalk why the sidewalk was given away in secret. Thank you.
Susie, you're the only other person in the room. Did you want to address council this evening?
No, I actually thought there was something else on the agenda, but I'll just, no.
Okay. Well, hi. Okay. Item 5 is reports, trustee reports. We'll start with Bridget.
No report.
Kim?
No report.
Bob?
No report.
Kirk?
No report.
Tina?
No report.
Okay. Village attorney?
No report.
Village manager?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. Rob, it's not on purpose, so.
I know,
but,
no report, Chris. Thanks.
do you have any report?
No, no report tonight.
Okay. I did look down at your chair, so that was. Okay. Village president. I have a couple announcements. The first one is I would like to announce the winner of the Randall the Raptor contest. For those of you who have been paying attention and who received last quarter's village report, I put forth a challenge for school children to go out into the community and visit all of the village properties that they possibly could and seek out Randall the Raptor, who hangs out at the Winnetka Fire Department. And luckily enough, Collier Phillips and his parents Haley and Sean will ride with us on the 4th of July on the village float for going out there and finding Randall at the village fire department. Keep your eyes peeled for the next report, because we will have a new character and we will have a new location, and we'll have to think up a really nice reward for our next round. But Randall will be going back to the fire department, so anybody interested in visiting him can do so on their leisurely time over there. Secondly, Kristen and I had the opportunity of addressing the 4th grade class? Oh, 6th grade. I'm out of circulation. Okay, they all look about the same to me. 6th grade class from Skokie School came and came up to the village council chambers. Kristen put on an amazing PowerPoint that helped the kids understand how village government works. We had an open question and answer session, which was really interesting, I thought, and the kids asked a lot of good questions. And at the end of the event, I was requested to provide autographs to all 40 kids, which I gladly do, because that's the first time in 7.5 years that anybody's asked me for anything. So it was kind of nice to have that recognition. I'll take it wherever I can get it. But it was a really nice event, and I think it's good for the kids. And, you know, occasionally we have scout groups in here and the like. But it was really nice to get them in here for a field trip on a school day. And I was really impressed with how focused and just how positive the whole experience was. So thanks to the kids over at Skokie School. All right, we'll move forward then. Item 6 is the establishment of the consent agenda, which is pretty much the whole meeting. The draft minutes had a minor correction regarding the new name for Evanston Hospital. Copies have been provided on the dais. Without objection, the corrected minutes will be included in the consent agenda. So with that said, does any trustee wish to remove any item on the consent agenda for a separate vote? Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the final form of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
All right, that's a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed? That motion carries, and I'll now ask Rob to read the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Approval of the Village Council minutes for January 23rd, 2024 is corrected. For that meeting, approval of the warrant list dated January 26, 2024 through February 8, 2024 in the amount of $1,072,216.91. Resolution number R13, 2024, waiving bidding and approving an agreement with Baxter and Woodman for the 2024 engineering contractual services. Resolution number R14, 2024, waiving bidding and approving an agreement with Baxter and Woodman for surveying and CAD services for the 2025 street rehabilitation and public improvement project. Resolution number R15, 2024, approving an extension agreement for professional services with Strand Associates Incorporated for the engineering and other related work related to the Crow Island Stormwater Storage Project. Resolution number R16, 2024, approving an easement agreement for the installation and maintenance of utilities at 275 Fairview Avenue, Greeley School for adoption. Resolution number R17, 2024, rejecting all bids, waiving bidding requirements, and awarding a contract to Resco for 5 100 kVA pad mount transformers. Resolution number R18, 2024, approving the purchase of 3 dump trucks from Linco Equipment Sales Incorporated. Resolution number R19, 2024, waiving bidding requirements and awarding a contract to Illinois Pump for the repair of a low-lift pump. And resolution number R20, 2024, and approving agreement with Ancura Consulting Group, LLC for consulting services.
Thanks, Rob. All right, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda by omnibus vote?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Trustee Dahlman? Yes. Trustee Handler?
Yes.
Trustee Dearborn?
Yes.
Trustee Albinson?
Yes.
Trustee Apitoff?
Yes.
Trustee Orsick?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving forward, ordinances and resolutions, we have none. Old business, we have none. New business, we have none. Appointments will be next time around. And last but not least, closed session. One moment, please.
We're not going to talk about, not tonight, Peters, okay. Wait.
I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of discussing specific personnel pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meeting Act. Under the motion, we will adjourn, when we adjourn the closed session, this meeting will automatically and immediately adjourn without the conduct of any further business or comments. May I have that motion?
Second?
Roll call vote.
Trustee Orsick, excuse me,
Yes.
Trustee Orsick. Trustee Dahlman.
Yes.
Trustee Albinson.
Yes.
Trustee Dearborn. Yes. Trustee Apitoff.
Yes.
Trustee Handler.
Yes.
That motion carries.